Welcome back. This is my layout share for week 3. My name is Cilla, and I am playing along with the 30 Days of Sketches / Scraptember collaborative event hosted by Christy of Christy's Beautiful Life, Laura Alberts, and the Scrappy sisters, Katie and Jess. Thank you so much, ladies, for allowing me to play along and to meet my personal goals of using my supplies. We're going to jump right in and talk about September the 12th. The challenge is to use a cut file. I did that. All of this is a cut file. I used 5 pieces of cardstock. The turquoise is from Jelly Bean Soup, Bowl of Dreams. Think with Purpose is the name of the paper. The yellow roses is from Bo Bunny, Land of Wonder collection. Reality is the name of that paper. You can't tell that it has birds on it because I have it all covered up, but the bird leaf paper is from a paper pad from Joann's. It's one of their Park Lane paper pads, but I can't remember which one. And the reason I used this cut apart for these photos is because this was taken the week after mine and my husband's wedding, and we needed to have faith at that point in time. Now, at that moment, we thought everything was going to work out to our plans and our timing, and we knew we were still about 5 months away of getting to be together. That's what we thought in October of 2019. However, life had completely different plans for us. We did not know that, and we had no idea that while we were taking these photos, we would have to have a whole lot more faith to get us to where we are today. I can say that now because I have a little perspective, but I'm telling you, the days between this day and to when we finally got to move in there were some hard days. But that's the reason for that layout. Day 13, September 13th, the challenge is to use stars. I used 3 pieces of cardstock, 1 6x6 and 1 8x8. We're going to talk about that 8x8 just a little bit more. The purple, which I used as a mat, is from Recollections. It's a Michaels brand. The turquoise notebook paper is from a paper pad that I don't remember. That was from years and years ago. The 8x8, which is this floral, is a digital file that I printed out. And when you print a 300 dpi image digital file on 8.5 by 11 cardstock, it's going to print 8x8. So that I can reuse this anytime I want to. I can print it out as many times as I want to. I really like digital files for that. Now, let's talk about this layout. I titled it Goals because I got to meet one of my virtual scrappy friends in real life. This is Teresa Smith of For the Love of Paper Crafting. She is frequently on Love RTS Facebook group. I would love to be able to meet all of my virtual scrapbook friends. But there was an opportunity for us to meet in Duluth, Georgia at the Stampin' Scrapbook Expo. And I'm just going to tell you, when she told me about it, I was going to make sure to be there. I was not going to miss this opportunity. She was so generous. She offered to drive so that my husband could have my car. Well, that's a whole different story because he finally got good Wi-Fi at the hotel, and he was not leaving that joint. He was going to stay with the Wi-Fi and get caught up on all the work that he had been lagging on because the Wi-Fi at my Alabama house stinks. It stinks so bad. So he was just happy to have Wi-Fi at the hotel. Anyway, this photo is of the two of us at EMI. It's a scrapbooking store outside of Duluth. I love the fact that even though we had gone to the Stamp and Scrapbook Expo, she wanted to support a local store. And I was 100% supportive of that. So we went to EMI and we spent a little bit more money and had a great time. We had such a good time together. She is a wonderful person online and in real life. Moving right along to September the 14th, the challenge was mixed media. I'm trying to read my notes. Once again, we all know this is a challenge for me to read and speak at the same time. I used 5 pieces of cardstock. 3 are from Vicki Boutin Color Study. 1 is from Vicki Boutin Foundations. This cut file is from Jeannie Linguini. I think she made this for me 2 years ago. I have such generous friends. And yes, I'm a cheater pumpkin eater because I did not do this mixed media. Miss Vicki Boutin did, and this is exactly what she would want. She would want me to use her mixed media. So there's that. This layout is shortly after we got moved in. Chicago came to town to the art park, and we went and listened to them. And of course, it was a Saturday, and they played Saturday in the Park. September 15th, the challenge is to use a patterned paper background. I used 4 pieces of cardstock. I used Maggie Holmes Flourish, this, and the matting, the hummingbird paper, Studio Calico. This is the background. Snippets. The paper is called The green is from Kaiser Craft Lush Collection. The paper is called Japonica. And the photos, the story is from the mornings. Like when I met my sister in Memphis. She lives in Houston. At that time, I lived in Alabama. And so that's one of the things that we'll do is we'll just meet in the middle and have a weekend girls getaway. So this particular time we met in Memphis, and if we were up early and we're out walking or from the hotel window, I would take pictures of the sunrise. Oh my gosh, this layout, people, I'm telling you. Now I'm embarrassed, but when I was making this layout and I was struggling and I couldn't figure out why I was struggling, I just was like, you know what? I got the layout finished and it is what it is. I don't love this, but once again, it's a layout and it's finished and I get credit for it. I used 5 pieces of cardstock. The challenge on September the 16th is for rainbow. I'm getting the cart ahead of the horse. I used 5 pieces of cardstock plus 1 6x6. The papers are all from, except for the 6x6, are from a Best of Simple Stories paper pad. So I did keep this in rainbow order. However, I didn't make a rainbow, and I don't know if that's what the challenge was, to make a rainbow or to use papers in rainbow order. And I didn't. How do you know you can't rainbow until you're in the moment and you're trying to rainbow and it doesn't work out? Well, that's the position I found myself in. And my rainbow looks a little bit like a handheld fan, but we're not going to talk about that. This is from a training event I went to in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And this is from my room. My view was out over the ocean. And so I titled it Beach Ready. Now, did I actually get to go to the beach during that week of training? No, I didn't. They kept us busy. September the 17th, the challenge is to use sequins. I used 3 pieces of pattern paper or cardstock. Let's see, this is Authentique. The floral is Tickled Pink. The check is from Simple Stories, Oh Baby. It's called the 4x6 Horizontal Elements. No, this is the Tickled Pink. And then the floral is from Saucy Authentique, and it's called Fire. The specialty paper I used is sewn cardstock. It is as old as Methuselah. That's back in the day, in the early 2000s, when they started coming out with these, you know, the die-cut cardstock. You got some sewn cardstock. And, well, once again, I bought as much as I could get. This is Teresa and I. And once again, her YouTube channel is For the Love of Paper Crafting. I can't stand when my brain does that and I just go blank. Her channel is For the Love of Paper Crafting. And we are literally in the convention center for this Stamp and Scrapbook Expo. They had a social media wall where you can stand and take photos for Instagram or whatever, TikTok, whatever social media you do. So we stood in front of that image with our masks on to take the prerequisite social media photo. We had such a good time. Such a good time. Found some good deals too. September the 18th, the challenge is to use a selfie. I used 4 pieces of cardstock. The floral that I used as a mat is from Adorn It. It sounds like I'm saying a dirty word. I'm not cussing. The brand is Adorn It. Their collection is Remember When, and the name of the paper is Reminisce. This is very old. The green is from Bo Bunny, A Gift of Love. Collection Sweetie Pie Smooch is the name of the paper. The music strips are from Stamperia. There's no name for the collection on that paper or on the branding strip. I'm sure that it had a name, but I couldn't find one. The first time I had ever even heard of Stamperia is from the Cranberry Cat website. And I ordered that from her. So let's talk about this layout, and this may take me a minute. The name of the title, good gravy. The title of this layout is Learning to Sing Again. So I used some symbolism to kind of reinforce that story. The music reinforces it. The season of life that this is depicting, I used the tattered edges. And I used gold stripes to bring out that there is light at the end of this. We have talked in the Love RTS group on Facebook about documenting difficult stories. And let me just take this moment right here to say, you are not required, and please don't ever feel pressured into documenting a difficult period of life if it is not what you want to do. If you don't want to do it, do not do it. But I'm okay with it. Once I'm through a difficult period and I have some perspective, I'll talk about it. It's part of my healing process to go ahead and look back and say, you know what? I survived that. God is good. And He'll carry me through. He carried me through that season. When I come into another season, I'll have faith that He can carry me through again. I was coming out of depression, a major depression, when I took this photo. And one of the things that depression can do is make you feel very isolated and alone. And it helped me tremendously, even though I didn't cry out for help to my friends, but it helped me tremendously that the times that I said, I need some girl time, my scrappy friends were willing to meet me in that place. And just, sometimes we didn't even really scrapbook, we just talked. It was so therapeutic. And many times those moments helped me get through. So I want to say thank you to my scrappy friends. It was, I think back to the sequence of events that caused us to meet, and I can see God's hand. I just can see God's hand. And it started with Janet. I get a little emotional when I talk about this, but she obeyed an urge to create a channel that just took off like wildfire. We all love her so much because she just shares who she is, in who she really is, just the raw, real Janet. And how can you not love her? And because Debbie was in a place in her life that she needed to have people to talk about what she was learning and discovering on Janet's channel, Debbie started the Love RTS Facebook group. And it has taken off like wildfire. And before the pandemic, back in September of 2019, I just kept feeling like these women are awesome. They're great. We're connecting in this Facebook group. We're connecting on Janet's, when she would post a YouTube video, you know, in the comment section. And wouldn't it be fun to meet whoever's willing virtually and just have an online crop? So we started doing that. And that's how so many of us have become friends. And it has gone beyond just virtually cropping together. I can see God's hand in his preparation of taking care of us in what we didn't know was coming. So that was a little heavy to end week. I think this is week 3. But I just wanted you to know you're not alone. And if you're willing to kind of step out of your comfort zone and meet with us anytime that we post a virtual crop, we want to meet you and we want to be your friends too. Thank you so much for joining me and being part of my accountable journey and using my stash. Let's meet again next week and chat some more. Bye-bye.